Okay, here I come again. All right. So yesterday I gave you guys a little bit of tip of how I maintain myself after this age that I'm in, right? So how I maintain myself at this age, right? So meaning 50 and above, right? I get a lot of questions about what do I eat, what am I doing, and how do I stay in shape? Well, my goal is not to get buffed up. My goal is not to get big. My goal is not to compete. My goal is to keep in shape, be flexible, mobile, you know, be able to reach down if I drop something, have the agility that I need and have the endurance that I need to be able to live a fulfilled life. You know, if I wanted to grab something, I wanted to, you know, if I fall, I'm going to be safe. And plus, when I wake up in the morning, that I'm not going to be feeling so so sore and things like that, because when you get older you feel that way. So I'm just going to give you some quick things that I do, right? So I do this every day. I know I showed you the video yesterday, but I'm gonna just show you on a clear tip. All right, so stretching to me is everything. Yeah, yesterday I started off with an overhead stretch. Today I'm starting off with just stretching out my chest. And I can feel that all through my shoulders, all through my chest. You can see how that is. Just keep your chest, keep your arms up at a 90 degree and just stretch them out. Right? And then what I do is kind of face my palm up like that, and then I just rotate my shoulders like that. And I go backwards. These are all just stretches, just to kind of lubricate my shoulders. That's all this is. And I'll bring it up like that. I'm clapping just to loosen up my shoulders. A lot of times you have those neck pains and you don't know why. It's because that muscle radiated all the way back to the back of your shoulders. So what am I trying to say? What I'm showing you is when you get to a certain age, you get over certain 40, over 50, over 60, stretching is your best friend. And then now I'm just gonna hold, and I'm just gonna stretch. See what I'm doing? I'm just stretching. All right? Just stretching. All right? After that, I feel it's all stretched up. Stretch on one side, pull my hand in the back. You look at what I'm doing. I pull this hand in the back and I stretch on the opposite side. And I'm going to switch. I'm going to stretch on the opposite side. That's all I'm doing. Then I like rotating my neck. Don't matter what side you start. It's your body. Don't close your eyes. If you close your eyes, you know what's going to happen. You're going to get lightheaded. You're going to fall. Keep your eyes open. Just stretch. Just stretch. See, I'm already feeling stretched out. So now, I'm gonna come over to the mid-waist portion. This is where I stretch my back. And like I said yesterday, I don't do a lot of counting. I like stretching. When you're coming up, you bend your knees, right? Don't just get up, right? Bend your knees when you're coming up. When you're coming up, you bend your knees. I hope you can see that. Trying to see if I can zoom this up a little bit. When you're coming up, you bend your knees like that, right? You can see me. Stretch like that. Behind the thighs area. Behind the calf. Touch your ankle if you can. Touch your toes if you can. I still can. And then you bend your knees and come up. Alright? So, that's stretched out. Right? Behind my hamstring is stretched out. So then I'm going to stretch out my thighs. So you notice I emphasize stretching. That's right. A lot of us do not stretch at all. Stretching in itself changes everything, right? If you could just start off with just waking up in the morning and just spending time just stretching. See, I got bad knees, so I think the only thing I can do to actually help me don't let that knee get worse is stretching. Stretching my quads, stretching my hamstrings, you know, stretching my ankles, you know. So, I'll show you what I'm doing. See what I'm doing right there. See, you notice I'm applying, and this is probably a little advanced, right? So you can't start off like that. I'm applying a little bit of pressure on my ankle, and I'm also pulling my hip backwards, because what it does is it stretches my hip flexors. And it's working on my balance. As you can tell, I got sneakers on, so my balance is a little off. But normally I'm well balanced, but I got this sneakers on and they might be wearing out, so that's probably doing it. But I stretch my hip flexors here. All right, so stretch the hip flexors here. See, so I pull my ankle back towards my buttocks and I stretch my hip flexors. I tell you what, just doing the stretching, I'm good right now. I can start my day. I ain't go to work. I'm good, you know? I mean, I can go ahead and I can take it one step further, stretch my, a lot of people don't know how to stretch their calf is. Place one foot in the front, show you. One foot in the front, and the calf you want to stretch backwards, and you just lean forward. It's stretching all my calf area. Change over, right? Army guys, you know what that is. Switch. So, and you stretch it out. Point your toes forward and just lean forward. And you're stretching your calf. Good. It's a little hot out here today, but I still love the weather. I'm enjoying it. So now I'm gonna do my calisthenics. This is where I get the heart rate going, right? Do my calisthenics. This is what I do daily. Today I got my shoes on, so my feet, it's not gonna pay the price like I did yesterday. My feet felt like it was on fire because the sun had heat up the concrete at the yard. So I do not count when it comes to like heart rate. I do it until I feel like my heart rate is going up. That's when I stop, because the whole goal is to get my heart rate up, right? Because you've been laying down for so long. So what happens? your heart rate has slowed down while you sleep. So now you're trying to wake it back up. Why do I want to do that? Because I need more blood flows to my brain. It allows me to think clearly. And that's why when you exercise like this here, before you go to work, you'll feel sharp, right? You're not stressed out because you're releasing all those endorphins. Your body's all worked up, right? So I do this every morning. I'm not lucky to stay skinny. I work on being skinny because I'm not trying to be big and buffed up and can pick myself up. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I don't care for that. I'm trying to keep that body fat to a minimum. I'm trying to stay agile, right? I want to be able to get up and go running at the age of 70. That's my goal. I'm over 50 now. I want to be able to get up and go for a walk when I'm over 60 and walk briskly, very fast. I want to be able to jog when I'm in my 60s and go for a run if I feel like it. So I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm trying to stay strong. Now, don't get me wrong. It's good to work in strength training. I do that naturally. It's good to work on strength training, right? Do those squats, do some dumbbells, yeah. Do some powerlifting if you can, but the goal is to stay agile, stay fit, not just stay buffed up. You can't move, become like a robot. You don't want that. Okay, now my heart rate is beating, kind of like that. Breaking sweat, so this is where I start doing my squats, my full body squats, right? I'm going all the way down, 5. That's why they call it full body. Going all the way down. My butt is touching the back of my knees, my back of my ankles, or my heels. Full body squat. All that weight on your quads. Full body squat. See that? All right. So that my quads are on fire. All right, my quads is like, what the hell did you do? All right. So I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna do complete my first set. Close it out with push-ups, right? All that does is get the upper body worked up a little bit. All right. Can you see me? Watch this. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this push-ups in. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so that's it. That's my daily routine. So what I just knocked out, if any of you was to count, I did about 40 push-ups, probably about 30 squats, and I did over 50 side strata hop, there's jumping jacks, and I've stretched. Now I'm ready to go to work. I'm good. Do this, and you'll be okay. And everybody's gonna be thinking you got genetics. And let them know genetics works, but also you gotta work on your genetics. Now how you do that is by staying in shape. Peace, make it happen, make it hard.